This large and spa in Magaliesburg played host to the press junket of upcoming film Bloed, meaning blood and glory. Cast, crew and media were treated to a beautiful candlelit dinner at the game lodge. From the time of the Anglo-Boer War comes Bloed, a story about survival, persistence, heartbreak and love. We're here at the press junket of the film, catching up with some cast and crew to get a little bit of insight.
Dis 'n maar gebly. Loyaal aan sy bloed.
Bloed tells of Willem, a Boer warrior whose family is murdered by British soldiers during the Anglo-Boer War. Willem is held captive with other Boer prisoners of war at St. Helena Island in the Atlantic Ocean. With the help of the other prisoners, he accepts a challenge that eventually leads to sweet revenge during the most important rugby game of their lives. The concentration camp on St. Helena Island is controlled by Colonel Swanell, played by Grant Swanbay, a fiery imperialist with a terrible hatred against the Afrikaner.
He is like really mean. The story is about the prisoner of war camp in the Anglo-Boer War. And he is the commanding officer of this prisoner of war camp. He's an Australian, and that we kind of decided to make him an Australian. It's a fictitious story. We kind of made him an Australian for a couple of reasons. But for me, the thing that was really nice about it is the story is also about rugby. And there is nothing that would really irritate people. South Africans watching a film as if the bad guy, he speaks with an Australian accent. It's the first time you hear him, you're like, oh no, it's the enemy. So, for me, it was important that that you immediately establish, okay, here comes trouble. The thing about the characters, it's really important, what was really important for us to find a very strong counterpoint to Willem.
The film was shot in icy conditions. We hear from Gustav Gardiner, who played Eddie Maynard in the film.
It was very, very intensely cold. We were shooting in winter in Worcester, and yes, right next to the Bloed Rivier, so it was intensely cold, and we did a lot of night shoots as well. But it really, as Sean, our director, also commented, that whole thing brought us all closer together, and it read beautifully on camera. We weren't acting cold, we were really cold. And we weren't like acting tired, we were really tired. We were doing a lot of night shoots, so it was, it was tough, but it was good.
While the film is in Afrikaans, the producers believe it is a universal story.
War and the underdog triumph, the themes written into the actual text, is so powerful to look at. And the way Sean wrote the text is with such an emotive power that whether you live in Iraq or you live in the States or you live in Japan, you'll be able to identify with these characters and kind of follow them through the story. So I think it's irrelevant. The cultural backdrop is kind of irrelevant. It's kind of the flavor of the film, and the film very firmly sits on the theme of this underdog triumph.
And then the one beautiful underlying theme is the actual sporting event. And we've seen that time and time again globally. When sport comes about, it sort of neutralizes everyone. Everyone sort of forgets their nonsense for a day and goes, hang on, let's, who's your team, who's my team.
The film is set to travel around the world through festivals and distribution deals already in the pipeline. The film releases in South African cinemas across the country on April 1st.